services. So I think in the previous slide I was in the objectives I have mentioned that we have three things to be studied under this. The operating system services are provided with respect to users and with respect to processes and with respect to other systems. So let us study one by one. What are the operating system services provided to the user first? So with respect to the user, these are all the different points we need to discuss here. First one here, user interface. So are you following? One set of operating system services provides functions that are helpful to the user. With respect to the user, what are the helpful services that the operating system provides? So under that, first one we have user interface, second one we have program execution, third one we have IO operations, fourth one we have file system manipulation, continuation, fifth one we have communication, sixth one we have error detection. That's all with respect to this. So let us study one by one. So what is user interface? Here user interface is almost all operating system. This is a service that almost all the operating system will provide for the user. How is it will provide? It varies between. There are two types of user interface that the operating system provides. What are those? The first one is command line interface. Second one is graphics user interface. So I think this graphic user interface is very familiar to you all. I mean, say for example, what actually the graphical user interface here? Here actually it is an environment. It is an interface which acts as a bridge between the user and the monitor. Say for example, you have some icons on the desktop. So with the help of the icons, you are going to interact with the monitor, correct? So that is called graphics user interface. Anyway, this I'll be discussing in detail when I go to the future slides. So coming to the command line interface. This is also another kind of interface that the operating system will provide the service to the user. The difference between the command line and the graphics user interface here is, here graphics user interface is a kind of image interface. So the interaction is provided in the form of image. Whereas in case of command line, here the interaction is provided in the form of word. I mean, whatever the program, the instructions you write now, that will be processed by OS. How it is going to process? There is an interface called command line interface. It will process each and every text, each and every line what you are going to write in the program. So there are two types of interface that the operating system provides services. What are those? One is command line interface, which is a form of word line interface. Second one is a graphics user interface, which is a form of image interface. So with the help of these interface, the user is going to interact with the system. The continuation of operating system services provided to the user. The fifth one is here, communications. How is that you are going to communicate? How the user is going to complete his task with the help of this particular criteria communication. So processes may exchange information on the same computer or between computers over a network. Say for example, you have one program, one CPU, then okay, no communication, only user will interact with the system. If I have several clients, same single CPU I am using, I have n users. All these users will access the data from the main server. That time what is that it will do? Client wants to exchange the information with the server. Or you can even assume, I can go for peer-to-peer communication. I have a client at one side, server at the other side. Or you can take two nodes I will call, two systems I will call, two CPUs I will call. I want to exchange the information between the node 1 and node 2. What is that I will do? I will pass the information from CPU 1 to CPU 2. So because maybe program 2 needs the input of program 1 can be given as a, output of program 1 can be given as input to the program 2. If that is the case, I want to go for more than one computer, then I will connect it over a network. So how to have a communication between these computers when they are connected in a network, maybe LAN or WAN, whatever, local area network, wide area network, based on the distance, right? Communications may be via shared memory. Shared memory means what? Same CPU, same memory, all these clients are given access. You are sharing the memory, whatever the content is stored in memory, that is used by not only one user. It can be given for more than one user. Then I will go for shared memory concept. Or through message passing. Or even I will not share the memory. Instead, whatever I have done in the CPU 1, that I will send it to CPU 2. So I can send the message. In the computer networks you are studying packets and all. So message can be sent in the form of packets. That is moved by whom? By operating system. Correct? So the last one here, error detection. So while doing all these steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all these steps, whatever I discussed, user interface, when you are trying to use, maybe there may be some error generated. While executing the program, there may be a generation of error. While using input output device, maybe somehow if there is any damage, then you will not be able to use the particular device. If there is any error, sometimes you may not be able to open the file, maybe file is corrupted. Then how is it you are going to rectify that? So while having communication, there may be a chances that whatever the message you want to transmit, 100% it may not reach the destination. So all these errors, how the OS will overcome it. So OS needs to be constantly aware of possible errors. So with respect to all the steps, it has to take care of the errors which are going to be generated. So how is it is going to take care? These are the steps involved in that. Errors may occur in the CPU and memory hardware or in IO devices or in user program. That's what, in any of these steps, error can occur in maybe inside the CPU while executing program only, or in the memory, maybe while storing the data you would have not stored it properly. Whatever the program you written, maybe it is incomplete, or maybe whatever the devices you want to use, maybe they are not in the good condition. So maybe user program, whatever the program is written by user, that may be the error in that. So for each type of error, OS should take the appropriate action. So OS has to mention with this error with respect to this device. So user we should know. OS should inform the user this is what the error is. It will display it on the monitor so the user can rectify it. So to ensure correct and consistent computing. So OS will provide the necessary information to the user so that it will ensure that OS will take the responsibility that it will correct if at all if some whatever the rectification that the user can do. First it provides the information, this is what the error is. Then the user can rectify it and user can whatever the error generated, he can resolve that error with the help of OS. So that OS will be able to provide consistent computing. Computing means what? Whatever responsibility the OS has taken care of, that should be stable. Consistent means what? It should remain stable throughout. Efficiency may not go down. Fine. So debugging facilities can greatly enhance the users and programmers' abilities to efficiently use the system. So while debugging these, what are the errors generated? The OS will debug that. Can greatly enhance. This will help the user and the programmer. User can be a programmer. Fine. So the ability of the user or a programmer will improve. So that user will get a necessary information so that he will efficiently use the system. If user will not know what is the error generated and how the user will continue or proceed with the work, it is not possible. So OS will help the user. It will facilitate the user to